Hi everyone, my name's Ingrid and I'm here to talk about freelancing. I've got some questions here which I'll go through and hopefully that will give you some idea whether or not you think there's something that you want to do. So the first question, how do I know if freelancing is right for me? Well, firstly, why do you want to freelance? What's causing you to think about it? Is it because you've been asked to do some work for someone, so it's just out of the blue, someone likes what you've done and they've asked you to do some work for them? Is it a necessity to supplement your income? Is it something that allows you to use your skills, your knowledge and experience the best way possible? So it could be that you may be thinking, freelance is probably the only way to go because it then fits into your lifestyle. So whatever your lifestyle is, does it fit in with that? Next question, what are your top tips for a business plan? Well, a business plan is a necessary evil and often seem quite a daunting thing to write, but don't worry about it. It's just a piece of paper that can be torn up and or rewritten. See it as a roadmap of where your business is going to go, and it's used for a number of purposes. Firstly, it lets you plan out what you've got and what you might need to get to make the business work. For example, do you need to buy software? What will it cost? When do you need it? And where will you get the money to buy it? So it's about thinking through some of the questions that you're asking yourself and providing the answers. It helps you, quite importantly, identify who your customers might be and how you will approach them. So, for instance, would you reach your customers by advertising or cold calling or using social media? You want to make a profit, so you need to make sure that your expenditure is less than your income. So, for example, if you're given £1,000 for doing some work, but your expenditure was £600, so you had to buy, like you said, software, or you had to buy some equipment, all came to £600, then you've made a profit of £400. And that's the aim, is to be making a profit. So making sure that your expenditure is as small as possible so that you can gain maximum income. So business plans are also needed if you're applying to a bank for finance. So therefore they want to see, this roadmap of where your business is going and how you're going to market it. And most importantly, how many customers and how much money are you planning to make? How can I assess my business idea? Well, firstly, is your business idea going to make you money? If it's not, it's a hobby. So you've got to really think through, is what I'm planning to do going to make me money? You have to think about who you're competing against. Are there others doing a similar business? And are you going for the same type of customer? Thing to think about is, why would somebody buy from you as opposed to someone else? You've got to think about what's different about you, what's unique, what are you bringing that somebody else isn't? And I think that's quite an important part. You can still be doing the same thing as everybody else, but actually you're doing it slightly different. Okay. So the next question, practical aspects of being a freelancer. First and foremost, what's the idea? Be clear exactly what you're offering, and it's best to try and do it within 2 sentences, what it is that you're doing or offering, so that you make it easier for the listener to understand. So if somebody doesn't understand what you're buying, what you're selling, or what your service is, then you could lose a customer. Talk about customers. Who are your customers? Do you have a target market in mind, or those who are likely to buy your products or services? I often think of it as thinking who your ideal client would be. What do they do? Where do they shop? What do they watch? What do they read? So you're thinking about my ideal client, so you recognise them when you meet them. So doing the research is really important to find out who your customers are, because you're not going to be able to sell to everybody, but you might, sell to a particular client. Okay, think about it as well think about the customer as the person who's actually paying the money. By that I mean if they may not be the end user. So, for example, children's shoes. If you're decided to, to sell children's shoes, it's the parents that buy the shoes, but the child that wears the shoes. So they're the end user. So it's not always the end user who pays for it. So that's quite an important aspect to think about. You've got to think about the legals. If you're if you're a one-person company, then it's normally through HMRC. And if you think of becoming a limited company, for instance, if you're having a design agency or you're wanting to set up a theatre company, then setting up a limited company through Companies House is the best way to do that. You've also got to think about, whether or not you need insurances. So first one, think about is public liability insurance, which every organisation that deals with the public needs to have. However, there's so many different insurances that you need to have, so that it's probably the best way to try and talk to a smart business advisor who'll be able to help you find the best way of starting the business for you. How will you get paid? So it's important to keep records of any expenditure, the number of hours that you spend on working on your business, and also as well any invoices that you send out. So this can be on a simple spreadsheet or it could be online, but the key is to keep a record. Make sure that you get paid. Sounds obvious, I know, but sometimes somebody may ask you to do some work but haven't paid you, may come back and say, can you do some more work for them? Kind of need to be a bit strict and say, I need to be paid first. Okay, so make sure you get paid. How will you market yourself? Having a simple marketing plan might help with this. So it could be that you decide to use social media and you contact your clients every 3 days or whatever. Will you need flyers? Make sure people know who you are. Make sure they know what you offer, and most importantly, how they can get in touch with you. Okay. Where do you want to work from? Do you want to work from home or actually in a special in an office space? So again, it's being clear on that. What equipment will you need? So will it be a new computer, 3D printer, sewing machine? What is it that you need to make sure your business goes through? Also, very importantly, review your business on a regular basis. So see what's working. Anything that's not working, stop doing it. And then change things around. Another question, what skills do I need to master in order to freelance effectively? Being a freelancer means learning how to sell your skills. It means being organised. It means having really good communication skills. It means have good time management. Most importantly, is building those networks. You kind of need to think about being clear and being sure and being realistic of how much work you can take on. Too much, you're not going to fulfill any orders. But so just be careful about saying yes to everything. It's normally the thing that people do, but just to be tempted, and just to say not to be tempted by saying no to everything. Be clear that you can actually fulfill the work. So again, decide who your target market will be. So we're back to that again, and research. Okay. So where can I find opportunities and support? Well, if you've graduated in the last 7 years, then Spark is able to help and support you. Our online workshop platform has a section all about freelancing and is available to you 24/7, 365 days a week. And guess what? It's free. So the opportunities for finding freelance work can come from different organisations. So if you're into a creative business, then someone like the Craft Council and the Dots can find you, will post up opportunities as and when they come up. But more importantly, it's using your networks. It's that network that will actually help you pick up any opportunities. So that's it. Those are a quick few questions there. If you have any more questions, or you feel that you want to speak to one of the business advisors in Sparks, then do that. We can set that up and they can discuss all things with you in confidence. Okay, so thank you, and hope that helps, and welcome to the journey.